Welcome back to Gear for the Common Game. Today in deck number 1005 here, we're going to talk about Anafenza, Unyielding Lineage. 3 mana, we had a 2-2 flash flying, I'm sorry, wrong. 2-2 flash first striking Spirit Soldier. Not bad. Anafenza, bringing it, yeah. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, she gets to endure 2. Which is either put 2 1/1 counters on her, or make a 2-2 spirit token. Okay. Well, I'll be frank with you, this is a spirit deck. This is mono white spirits, so let's get into it. Ramp, we're playing white, so it's artifact ramp, because, there's not a lot other. A soul ring, pearl medallion, marble diamond. Now, there's an arcane signet here because, frankly, I know it's one color, but it's an untapped diamond, essentially. Mind Stone, Commander Sphere, those two, you can get a card out of if you don't need it later on. And then Solemn Simulacrum. Well, let's get into our spirits, shall we? I think these are grouped. I think I got flyers first. Here's our Wall of Resistance. That's our tie-in with the last video, I guess. 1/6 flyer defender gives you a little bit of life, hey. Ao, the Dawn Skies. Dragon Spirit, that's kind of neat. The Grey Host reinforcements I really like. Exile target player's graveyard. Number 1/1 counters on an equal number of creature cards. Alright. Hey, Chris. Fellow zombie player. Karmic Guide's just a good angel spirit. Brings something back that may have gotten murked. Maybe it's your Windborn Muse, It's also a spirit. Bygone Bishop. Kind of a little bit of a card draw. Grateful Apparition. You get to proliferate. Selfless Spirit. Kind of one of those anti-board wipes that's pretty good. Topplegeist. I love the fact that Topplegeist just does its thing. It's not that hard to get 4 or more card types in your graveyard, Ayobi. Spirit or Arcane. Let's go original Kamigawa. You get a 3/3 spirit that flies, so that's really not bad. The downside is it's 7 minutes, kind of at the top of the curve. By the time you can afford to cast this, you probably don't have too many spirits left in your hand. I didn't really do any arcane stuff here because it's just straight spirits. Spectral Procession, or as us old heads like to call it, 3 dudes seriously. Then our non-flyers, the Eidolon of Rhetoric. The Voice of the Blessed, I love this. It kind of goes with the slight life gain thing, The Furious Forebearer. Twilight Drover, it's a spirit deck, it had to be in there, right? Anafenza Kintree Spirit, so, why not? Keening Apparition does a really good job of some removal, so you get you sacrifice it, which triggers your commander. So if you've got any kind of spirit procs trigger, Mirror Entity is just kind of one of those, what life you at? I have more attackers than you have blockers. I have mana. Let's go. It just can be a win condition. Ghostblade Eidolon, giving our commander double strike when we're already going to mound up 1/1 counters on her seems pretty strong. Custody Squire, Martyred Resulka. I've never, that word. Never been able to pronounce it. So the problem is we have little guys, right? We have little creatures. They're not that big. The tokens that we're making are not that big. So I have a dude helper section here. Virtue of Loyalty. Hey, it's 1 counter but it's on your whole team, and it's every turn, and they untap. So this I'm kind of fond of. Now, we have the Heraldic Banner, also ramp, but also Dude Helper. We have the Patchwork Banner, ramp, Dude Helper. The Gauntlet of Power, also ramp and a Dude Helper. And then we have Cathar's Crusade, which is just nutty. 3 dudes seriously here is quite nice. And then our good friend Elspeth the Storm Slayer, because this is a bonkers card. 0 is put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, and they fly to your next turn. Now, that's not a far cry for a deck that half of our stuff already flies, but I feel like the 0 gets overlooked. Yeah, the token doubling up top, the passive, is amazing. But that 0 is nothing to be looked over. Let's do the other category, shall we? The stuff that didn't really fit in. I have a holy day, because, sometimes that's what spirits need, right? Orm's Chant. Love the Orm's Chant. No, you're done. You're done with your turn. You get one use out of it, but I figure it's that turn where if they do their thing, they're going to win, or at least they're going to kill you. That's the time. Clever Concealment. I love that Convoke can reduce the spell's cost by the color as well. So what you can do is, if you have 4 untapped creatures, this is a bowing out of a board wipe. Yeah, you can tap 4, bam, Clever Concealment. All my guys phase out, your board wipe resolves, good times all. If you need it. Sometimes we need our creatures to die. But I do have, in addition to that one, the Rootborn Defenses and the Unbreakable Formation. I have a Ghostly Prison. This is in there more so on flavor than anything else, because, it felt like Ghostly Prison spirits needed it. We're going to Smile at Death. At the beginning of your upkeep, return 2 target creatures with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a 1/1 counter on each of those. The fact that this happens every single upkeep, and we have that destroy target enchantment by sacking guy, it kind of gives us a little recursion loop there. Works well with Field of Souls to get those spirits, and maybe we've got Cathars, maybe we've got whatever, Haunted Library. Creature opponent controls dodge, pay 1 use spirit, blah, hey, trying to make those tokens, maybe Elspeth's out, who knows. I realize that this is not a powerhouse deck, and that this may be, I'm not sure what bracket this will fall in. I don't think there's a game changer in it, but sometimes you gotta approach the second sun. It's an alternate win condition. I feel like alternate win conditions are becoming more and more necessary, at least one maybe in each deck. I don't know. There's a lot of decks I have that don't have them, but you can just win out of the blue. And no, this is not a, there's no scroll rack or Sensei's Dividing Top to manipulate this. It's just there, and if 7 cards later you get it, you get it. If it happens, it happens, right? Anyway, let's look at our removal, which is probably the lion's share of the deck. That is a Mana Tithe. We play a format. I call Commander a tap out format, because people tap out. Stuff like Mana Tithe and Mana Leak, these are really good cards because people tap out. How many times have you heard somebody say, it's 1 more mana and I can recast my commander? And I'm staring at a Mana Tithe in my hand, and I'm like, So, on to the usual suspects here. Disenchant, Return to Dust does not get enough love. Oblivion Ring, Condemn, Generous Gift, Path to Exile, Sword to Plowshare, Stroke of Midnight, and one of my favorites, Darksteel Mutation. Enchanted creature becomes an artifact creature. 0/1, indestructible, loses all other abilities, types, and creature types. Wow. This is on the board but useless. Yes, it gives them a pretty cool blocker. But if their commander is... If the commander text box matters to them, which it, 99 times out of 100 it does, this can blank their commander. It does not change zones. They do not get the option to put it back in the zone. It's on board, but useless. I love it. Fumigate, little life gain action, board wipe. Dismantling Wave, I like. For 3 mana, you can destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment each player controls, right? Okay. Up to, so you don't have to... I mean, you can single target this Joker if you need to. But, and I think that's one of the advantages to this over something like something where you have to choose something from everyone. You can make friends here. Table politics can matter. You don't have to upset everybody at the table. Austere Command, Settle the Wreckage, Cleansing Nova, and Kurtar's Wrath. That's a few more board wipes than your white creature deck normally has, but we also like our creatures to die for our commander. Now, looking back at it, I probably need to swap one of those out for a Mithril Coat. That way she can live through them. But, let's face it, it's mono white spirits. If I board wipe, you're losing more than I'm losing. Okay, now our non-basic lands. There's a little bit of cool stuff here. We got a Maze of Ith, a Rogue's Passage, to make sure we got to get in there. Myriad Landscape. I know Temple of False God's not cool anymore, but in mono color decks, I still run it because it can give you, you always run that chance of drawing it in the opening hand, but you know what? We get a free mulligan every game. So if it's there, I will shuffle that Joker away. Drifting Meadow and Desert of the True just cycle lands. If you draw them late, you don't need the mana. You can trade them out for another card. Meanest Tirith, card draw, right? Attack with 2 or more creatures, not that hard to do in a spirit deck. Yeah. So that is what we have got for Anafenza. I have not actually played this one yet. I think somebody else in the house has played it, but I have not, because it was shuffled up. All the basic lands were dispersed. So that's typically not how I have them built. So it looks like somebody's played them. Anyway, that is all I have got for today. I do appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for watching. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.